Hey, Dr. Jon Finn here. Welcome to the Habit Mechanic podcast. Right now, you can get my new best-selling book, Train Your Brain for the AI Revolution, at tougherminds.co.uk. The digital book, audiobook, and physical book are all available at a special price that you won't find anywhere else. Hello, Habit Mechanics. It's Dr. Jon Finn here. I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. I wanted to touch base really because I've not done a podcast for a few weeks, but I have been very busy attending and contributing to AI events. So I've been part of a panel discussion at a university where there was a range of people from the private sector and the public sector talking about how they're using AI, what benefits they're getting, what challenges they're facing. Then I was at more of a private dinner with business leaders, just hearing about the different stages businesses are at on their journey with embedding AI everywhere from very sophisticated, getting massive wins, all the way through to just starting the journey, but also some of the stories about it's not actually the opportunities and the challenges for businesses are not just the businesses using AI, it's their clients, it's their partner businesses, because that escalates the volume of replies and the intensity of sort of information flow, if you like. So that was really interesting insight. And then I attended a panel discussion where I was just a member of the audience last week with some really interesting people, again, from a range of academic through to the National Health Service and the medical side, and then private business, and things like AI is going to completely transform how we deliver medicine within the next 2 years, not in 2 years' time, but it's going to start to really shake things up almost imminently because the tech is here and it's so much more efficient to deliver many of the services using neural network AI. So I thought it was useful to come back and just at a high level reflect on what I'm seeing. Because this is a unique period of history where we have this new powerful technology. It's constantly in the news. There's the constant noise about, is it real or not? Is it a bubble? I'll come back to that in a second. But I think ultimately, for the majority of people, AI can feel stressful. It can feel overwhelming. It can feel threatening. It can raise questions about your future that you don't want to have to be thinking about, what's going to go on for the kids, all this kind of stuff. So I want to deal with that kind of cornerstone, foundational thing of it being stressful. But let me go back to the bubble piece. So the headlines in the press, if you follow the newspapers or the websites we get news from, there's a strong narrative about are the AI companies overvalued? Now, what you may see if you actually look is that the companies that are most involved in AI, that are investing the most money, they are becoming more valuable than any other business we have ever seen before, or any other businesses on the planet, right? So we've got Nvidia that makes the hardware. They make very powerful AI chips, kind of the premium chips in the world. They can't make enough of them at the moment. I think about 6 months ago, they were valued at about 4 trillion. Yes, 4 trillion, not billion. And then more recently, that jumped up to 5 trillion. And then Microsoft followed suit. They broke 4 trillion, first time ever. And then Google are kind of stalking behind them. I think Google's pretty much doubled its valuation in the last 18 months. And now they're valued at about 3.5 trillion.
So the numbers are phenomenal. So when we think about bubbles, we think about the internet crash, the internet bubble, stores like pet.com, etc., being massively overvalued. There's a big difference with what's currently going on. So what was very interesting, for example, just last week, less than a week ago, was that Nvidia, um, they had a quarterly earnings announcement coming up, and they actually grew their business 60% more than the markets expected them to. So there was a lot of talk about they wouldn't hit the target the markets had expected. I think they sold an additional $500 billion worth of chips. So the numbers are phenomenal. So when you hear about the bubble, it's not a question of the technology and whether it works or not. It's just really, are some of these the valuations of the businesses, are they overvalued? And by any standard measurement, they are overvalued, but we're not in a standard period of history. And if you wipe $1 trillion off Nvidia, they're not going to crash, right? They're still going to be okay. But really, we got to understand what phase of AI we're in. And we're really in the build out phase right now. So what businesses are investing in is infrastructure build out. They're investing in data centers, which they need chips for. Google are making a big bet on creating their own chip so they can compete with Nvidia. So I know this kind of technical discussion might not be that interesting to some people that are listening, but I think it's important that we understand that the AI is not going away. So there may be the noise around it's a bubble, but the tech's proven in the sense of it can do lots of things. The agentic AI can do lots of things, and the automated processes much faster and cheaper than humans. And its ability to do things much faster and cheaper than humans in some very specific tasks is accelerating. Almost every week, the tools are becoming more and more powerful. And then we have the generative AI, and if you know anyone who's dedicated some time to properly learn how to use generative AI, things like Claude and ChatGTP and Gemini, and there are more industry-specific ones as well. Some businesses have built their own at great cost. They'll tell you how much faster they're able to get through their complex, high-impact thinking, working and doing. And what I personally see in my own workflows is that I can 7x my output every day, which I know sounds phenomenal, but I can. I've been doing it consistently now. So yeah, it's very, very, very powerful technology, and it's not going away. And yeah, there are some ethical concerns and things like that. It's very interesting that the very senior medical person who was on the discussion I was at in London last week, he was asked by one of the other panelists, would you trust AI to deliver medical services versus human beings delivering the medical services? And his response was very interesting. He said, I regularly follow doctors around wards to see what they're doing. It's part of my job. And I see them hallucinate, and I see them make mistakes, and I see them give patients wrong advice. And I see they have lots of errors in their thinking. And AI also has errors in how it thinks. But what his point was, so he said, I would trust AI over doctors because he said, I can see the errors that AI are making and we can program out the errors. Whereas with doctors, it's much more difficult to program out the errors. So, these are people that have been working with these technologies for a long time and they've really thought about this stuff. And it's just very, very fascinating. I don't think anyone expected him to say that. So, but you hear all these amazing insights, what this stuff can do, but then consistently what I hear from the audience, both in the panel I was part of, but in these other discussions I've been attending and the dinner I went to, is fear, anxiety. People are worried, they're scared, they are uncertain, and that's all on top of a world which already has a ton of anxiety and uncertainty in it, arguably more than ever before as we get overloaded by digital interactions and information and just constant bombardment, harder to sleep well, harder to eat properly, harder to exercise like we need to get our brain working well, harder to manage stress, and therefore harder to focus when we need to. So AI is coming into our lives at a time when we're already fatigued, some are already exhausted. I think most days of the week, everybody will feel overwhelmed at some point. And the AI is just adding to that. And businesses are under pressure from shareholders to deploy it and to put it into their businesses, because it's very clear that when you get the AI right, it's can have a phenomenal impact. And you hear stories like Amazon. They've laid off 14,000 people. Now they're a massive organization, right? But the fact that they think they can replace 14,000 people with technology is a pretty phenomenal statement. We hear from companies like Salesforce, who've pioneered agentic AI workflows, massive company. They say they've halved their workforce by replacing lots of tasks they used to pay humans to do with agentic AI. This is not something to be worried about, because we need people, we need good people on this journey, and AI is going to create lots of new jobs as well. Probably not as many as it's predicted to replace, just being frank. But I don't think we're going to see mass unemployment with this kind of technologies we currently have. But what we are going to see is that businesses that use AI really effectively, and that means businesses with people that use AI really effectively, are going to get a massive competitive advantage. They're going to be able to deliver their services much cheaper than their competitors and in a much faster, more impressive way to their customers than their competitors can. Ultimately delights their customers and gets them more and more customers, because that's how business works, right? So what I'm seeing is that people are worried, they're stressed, they need help and they need support. And the journey we've been on over probably 15, 16, maybe 18 months now is we've been working out how do we make it really easy for people to be at their best, and if they want to build AI into their workflows. It's 90% about helping people to be at their best, and the AI is there if you want to use it. There's some people that are not going to have to use AI in their roles. But that's what we've been working on, and you may have read Train Your Brain for the AI Revolution, and you will. I mean, I think I'm talking myself down a little bit, because I do talk about AI in the Habit Mechanic as well, which is significantly older than 18 months ago. But the neural network AI is new. But anyway, so we know that if we want to help people to thrive, and I'm very optimistic about the positive impact AI can have, it's not going to go away. There's too much invested in it, so we have to make it work for us. So we want to help people to actually have the very best chance of thriving in the AI era. And you will know, if you've read Train Your Brain for the AI Revolution, that we see that brain state intelligence is the key. And because brain state intelligence at a high level might feel a bit ambiguous, we've gone further and we've broken that down into 6 core habits. Now, the first habit is what we unpack in, and just to go back, sorry, the 6 habits of high performing AI era professionals. And the first habit is the 4-step framework that we unpack in Train Your Brain for the AI Revolution. But again, reading the book doesn't build the habit, it shows you the system, right? And then we've gone further and we've created the 4 habits for high performing AI era leaders and the 5 habits for high performing AI era teams. We haven't just made these things up overnight. It's a refinement of what we've worked on for over 25 years. And we know that if you build those 6 habits in the first instance, that is the key to actually not only developing your brain state intelligence, but being healthier, being happier, being at your best more often. And if I just go through those 6 habits again, because I think I mentioned in the last podcast, it's habit 1 is build a 30-day focus loop. This fires up our motivation. It keeps us focused on being at our best every day. So we've got those, have the best chance of being healthy and happy. Habit 2 is about recharging the cognitive battery. This is about just getting our brain working really well. So once we've fired up that motivation, we've got to make sure our brain is working really well. That's our priority. So good sleep, good diet, good exercise. Then every day our brain is getting filled full of potential stressors, disconnections of meaning systems, kicking off stress responses in our brain and our body. It's unavoidable in the world we live in, even if we're very good at managing stress. So we need to be better than ever. We almost need to be like world class at recoding the stress response, and that's habit 3. And we have lots of ways to help you to build that habit. And then habit 4 is about recognizing that as we go into the future, it's becoming more and more uncertain. And therefore, the things that have given us self-efficacy and self-esteem, in other words, confidence, because they're the 2 components of confidence, they may become less relevant. So we're going to have to keep very deliberately engineering our own robust confidence. And there are lots of things that you can do habitually to build up your confidence so you're not constantly questioning yourself and doubting yourself. Habit 5 is about preparing for pressure, because we're increasingly under pressure, or many people are, to do things really well that they've literally never done before. Run a team of people that are co-working with AI, extend my high charge hours that I'm able to do every day. Business is going to expect me to be able to do more high charge, more high impact, deal with more volume of feedback from clients, etc. And you can see there, those first 5 habits are really all about getting your brain working really well. So again, dealing with that overwhelm and the high volume of stress we're experiencing. And then habit 6 is about building laser sharp focus. So once we get the foundations of great brain function, then we can use that as the platform to really focus our attention on to what is most helpful for us and getting to those high charge brain states consistently. So by working through those 6 habits, you are going to become brain state intelligent. You're going to become healthier. You're going to become happier. You're going to be at your best more often. You're going to thrive in the AI era. And if you want to, you're going to be able to seamlessly build both agentic and generative AI into your workflows, just one tiny thing at a time. So rather than feeling overwhelmed, rather than worrying, we need to be proactive. We need to start taking control. And it starts with brain state management. So if you haven't already, or if you've picked up a copy and you haven't read it, go back through Train Your Brain for the AI Revolution, because the success cycle is the cornerstone of us being healthier, happier, and at our best. But it's only the starting point. It gives you kind of the framework to make it easier to build other habits off, which is the 6 habits I'm talking about. And excitingly, well, you already know that we are training coaches. And again, on my journeys over the last few weeks, and in fact, this was just yesterday, some very big sets of compelling data coming out showing that the growth opportunity, as I've been saying, I don't want to be a know-it-all, but as I've been saying, the biggest growth area right now in professional services is helping people to get AI ready. It's not the technical training. It's not helping them to build AI chatbots. It's actually helping people to adopt their behaviors so that they can get the most out of the technology the business is invested in. But my senses and my professional experience would say that the traditional change management systems, which are the ones that are starting to be rolled out, will fail because they're not designed with the brain in mind. They're not designed in first principle insights. And that's why we're training people to become certified habit mechanic coaches, so they can train people in these 6 habits, which is the key to being healthy, happy, and at your best in the AI era. And whether you work in a business or you want to set up your own business doing this as a coach or a consultant, this is the training that you can do to actually learn how to help humans thrive in the AI era. So we've got that, but then also excitingly, my time is very limited, but I know that human support is the best way to help people to be at their best. And therefore, working with our head of coaching, Andrew Foster, who I've worked with for over 14 years now, and I've known for a lot longer than that, we've created a new program. And the program is called One-to-One Coaching for AI Era Success. So we want to offer people one-to-one coaching so they can turn the AI era into their springboard for success. So you want to flip that narrative. The AI era is not threatening, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity, and the opportunity is moving quickly. We've been deep into this now for nearly 12 months, in the sense of, I wrote a book about this, right? I started writing that about 12 months ago, where I started to get really deep into this. But we've been working with people with these methodologies for longer than that, probably since summer of 2024. We've had, that's been premium priced programs, really, with top level executives. But we've created a one-to-one coaching program now, which we think is a much more accessible price point for people. This is not a sales tactic. This is, you get one-to-one coaching, and it's a monthly program where you don't just get one-to-one coaching, you also get a number of other things. So you get to work with Andrew. You get a block of 60 minutes every month, which you can chunk down into half-hour sessions or 15-minute sessions. It's entirely up to you. And you get on-demand support with him as well. So he's there available for you, email, WhatsApp, whatever you want to do. So literally you're going to get not just a coach, but an accountability partner as well, who is the person that I would go to for coaching. And then I'm working with Andrew in the background, and I'm going to be available every other week for group sessions. We're going to do live group coaching and training, where I'll be available for questions and to help guide people. Then what we're also doing is we have a monthly challenge around the 6 habits. So there's a theme for the month, and we've got our app set up. So you've got that daily content that you can go in and use. We've got the 6 habits program available. The 6 habits training is part of this membership. So you can buy the 6 habits program as a standalone offer, but also we've put it into this membership if you want that. So you can actually get certified as well. There's a certified AI-proof professional. We've put all of our training content into the membership. So you've got all our masterclasses and all our core resources and all our core tools. And then we also have a community membership or a community forum, where you can post, learn from others, see what other people are doing. And we know that works really well. So we've made that available as well. So yeah, excitingly, we have this new program. We're not accepting just anybody onto it. And we think the best way for you to see whether it's a good fit for you, and if you're a good fit for us, is to have a call with Andrew, our head of coaching, Andrew Foster. So Andrew's offering some free calls, so you can see how this will be helpful for you. If you're a coach, this is a great program because it'll help you to kind of practice what you preach, sharpen up what you're doing. Whether you're a certified habit mechanic coach, whether you're a certified habit mechanic coach in training, or whether you're, whether a coach in another methodology, this will be really helpful for you. And of course, Andrew essentially runs our coaching business. So you won't just get a behavior change insight for yourself and your clients. You'll also see how Andrew is driving the business side of, running a coaching business. If you're a leader, you're feeling pressure to get your people using AI, you're seeing your people are overwhelmed by all of this, but you see an opportunity if you can get really good at understanding how to make an AI era team, organization, business work, then there's massive opportunity for you. This is a great fit. If you're a professional, forward thinking, you're seeing AI is in your business already and there's pressure for you to use it to do more output, or you see that it's coming in. We're going through phases here. You've seen it before, with mobile phones. No one really used them, and then they did, and then they got better, and then they got better. That window, the equivalent window for AI, is probably going to happen about 10 times faster. So what took, mobile phones 10 years to do, we'll see this in 12 months. So the next 2 years are going to be massive. Well, the next 12 months, the next 24 months, then are going to be massive. So if you're just a forward-thinking professional and you're looking for not just a course, not just a community forum, not just a session, you're looking for that one-to-one coaching support, and that's what we're offering. We have never done this before like this, so I'm so excited because I know how powerful the one-to-one coaching is. Then this is a great fit for you as well. If you're a parent and you're worried about your kids, thinking, right, what do they need to learn? What's the world of work going to look like? And I know even thinking about that is stressful. Then this is also a great fit. Because if you really want to understand what it's going to be like for your kids and how to best support them, you need to get your head around this as well. And the 6 habits is the best starting place. And Andrew, as well as working with, he works with hedge fund managers, senior leaders of big businesses, professional athletes, professionals who want to do better. He works with coaches. He's our head of coaching. He trains coaches up, but also he works in education because that's his kind of passion project. So if you do have kids, Andrew is arguably the world's leading authority on habits, high-performing habits for the AI era, because literally he delivers the only program in the world that I know of that is actually teaching this to young people. So if you're a parent, this is a great fit for you as well. So I got a frog in my throat, which AI can't cure, I don't think. So I get that the world is overwhelming, and that's really been hit home to me just how frightened people are of this technology over the last couple of weeks. But we have the solutions. We can help you using robust neuroscience, behavioral science, but through our practical brain state intelligence frameworks, and now our 6 habits for high performing AI era professionals, our 4 habits for high performing AI era leaders, and our 5 habits for high performing AI era teams. We've got you covered, and now you can get one-to-one coaching support to do this at a ridiculously accessible price. But I just wanted to do this, so I wanted to make it as accessible as possible for people. So you may have seen an email from us that will offer you a free call with Andrew. If you haven't seen that, I'll put the link beneath the podcast so you can have a chat with Andrew. You'll get a lot of benefit out of the chat, and you'll see if this is a good fit for you, if we think you're a good fit for the program. And then hopefully we get the chance to work together. And not only help you to be at your best, and you're going to help us to be at our best because you'll hold us accountable, but you're also going to learn how to, pass on the ideas that you're learning for yourself to others, either just in a general way, or you can always also become a certified habit mechanic coach. We'll be offering some more training grants on that in the coming week or so. So yeah, really, really exciting. So I think the takeaway here is that I understand why people are scared. I actually understand neurobiologically why we're scared and why this is threatening. But please believe me that this is the biggest opportunity that I think we've ever had for our health, our happiness, and our performance. We've got as one of my old bosses used to say, a football manager who won, I think he won 4 or 5 league titles, or maybe 5 promotions and 3 league titles. Got to control the controllables, John. So that's what we can do. We can't really control, how much money Nvidia and Google and everybody else is pumping into AI to build out the infrastructure, to make it inevitable that this just becomes part of how we live. What we can do is, first of all, understand how to build the habits to be at our best, and then understand how we can build on those foundational habits to thrive in the AI era. And we've got you covered on that. And if one-to-one coaching sounds interesting to you, then do book a call, do speak to Andrew, and we'd love to hopefully see you as part of our group, and as one of Andrew's coachees, but also part of the bigger community as well. And as all of these things, we only have a limited number of places. I don't say that literally. Andrew's got only so much time to deliver this program, so he will only be taking on a limited number of people. So yeah, that's good. Slightly different podcast. It's a bit of a digest of all the things I've been working on for the last few weeks. But thank you for listening. Remember, you can book a call with Andrew below, and however you're feeling right now, however overwhelmed or stressed or tired you are, remember, you're only ever one brain state habit away.
Thanks for listening to the Habit Mechanic podcast. If you liked it, please subscribe and tell someone else about one of the ideas or insights that you found most interesting.